Hello! I am the Witch of Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a reading for my Pisces Mercuries. So yay, let's get going. Starting off as always with our oracle card. I've got my cat Sunny here to help me with the reading. There we go. As I'm shuffling these cards, I invite you to take some deep breaths. To ground yourself, to chill a bit as we get your reading ready. So with Mercury, your Mercury sign, that tells you how you communicate. So I assume this reading is going to be something about communication. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'll adjust this a little off. There we go. All right, let's dive in. So for our oracle card, we have Orphaned. Interesting. Okay. So we've got 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles reversed, Page of Swords reversed, the Star, King of Cups, and Strength reversed. Okay, so the first card that's really jumping out to me is this Star card. And, you know, also as that being a shadow card. So for those of you who aren't super familiar with tarot, in tarot there is the Tower card. It's a very infamous card, where essentially with the Tower, we get that card when something very big happens, and it kind of, you know, it essentially symbolizes a tower crashing and burning so that you can rebuild something better, right? So the Star card comes right after the Tower. So it's kind of like you know, having this star, it kind of suggests to me that maybe you are rebuilding or starting to rebuild in some kind of way. And I mean, I see for our oracle card, we have Orphaned, which is about loss, being abandoned. But it also can kind of just mean you're feeling lost. Like you just kind of don't quite know where, almost like an identity crisis. I don't know, that might not, that's a bit of a strong term, but something like that, you know, where you're not totally, you know, maybe it's like the Tower fell for you and you're starting to rebuild, and now you're kind of asking yourself these questions of like, well, what do I really want? You know, my tower crashed, meaning, you know, maybe your relationship ended or you lost your job or something like that. And now you're kind of asking, like, okay, well, if I'm going to try and find something better, what even is better, you know? I do really, really like to see 10 of Pentacles. I always love to see 10 of Pentacles, especially having that above the star, because that tells me that whatever that Tower moment was for you, you learned the lesson, or at least know what it is, you know, or are learning it, or whatever. That's a really good sign, because that's why we have those Tower moments, right? And sometimes they are just so super, super terrible. And it can be frustrating to have something so terrible happen and be like, well, at least I learned a lesson. Like, yeah, that part can be a little annoying. But sometimes that's just the only way to make a terrible situation, or what feels like a terrible situation, you know, not so bad. And of course, that does totally depend on what you're going through. It's different for different people, but anyway, so that, love to see that. Continue learning that lesson or whatever. I kind of feel like you already have learned it, but of course this also is a general reading. So anyway, interesting enough though, we have Ace of Pentacles reversed next to this 10 of Pentacles. So again, that's definitely talking about, I want to say rebirth? I don't know, that's just the word that's popping into my head, but that is a pretty strong word. But it's the start of a new cycle, right? Going from that 10 back to 1, that ace. But we have it reversed, which usually tells me that there's something blocked. There's still things that need to be done. But we have King of Cups below that, which Cups is associated with the water element, and that's all about emotions. Suit of Cups corresponds with emotions, feelings. I sometimes associate it with relationships. So I think, well, I guess actually, I mean, in the context of the star, I think there's just, some next steps that can be taken that maybe you're not quite ready for. Although, I mean, since we have King of Cups below that and it's upright, that does make me think that, like, emotions are good right now. Maybe you're still in a place where feeling your emotions, processing your emotions, all of that is good. That'll help kind of get you to a place where you can take those next steps to rebuild. But we do have here, this is a little more specific, how to flip this upright and get those opportunities for growth, right? To continue our growth and continue to rebuild. So we have Page of Swords reversed. Well, when I describe this card, I usually just describe it as like, imagine you give a child a sword. What do you think that child is going to do? There's a pretty good chance that that child is going to just start swinging it around and get really excited and then possibly end up hurting themselves or somebody else, right? That's Page of Swords reverse. It's just getting a little too excited, a little carried away, and not taking time to properly, use a methodical, learn how to use the sword correctly, right? You have this powerful weapon, right? And it's important to know how to use it in a safe and ultimately more successful way, right? So Page of Swords, and especially we have swords here, and I said this is a Mercury reading, so I feel like it'll have something to do with communication. That's where this comes in, because swords is associated with the air element, which is associated with communication, words, language, right? The mind, especially, too, your intellect. Well, we have that Strength reversed card underneath it. which pretty straightforward. You know, it's a lack of strength, which can also kind of mean self-doubt or insecurity with yourself. We're talking about what you need to do to be able to take those next steps to continue building better, right? So these cards are telling us suggesting what might be helpful for you. We all have intellect, right? We all have the ability to have good, logical, critical thinking skills, right? Every single one of us does. And maybe you're kind of going through a time right now where you're doubting that in yourself a bit. Maybe you're just kind of, not that you're bad at it, it's just that you're feeling not so confident about that part of yourself right now, which might be leading to a bit of recklessness. So I think it would be best for you to, we also have, again, going back to this King of Cups, that's about emotions, embracing emotions in a very healthy way, right? So I think remembering to take that time to feel your feelings, feel your emotions, process whatever needs to be processed, work on whatever needs to be worked on, whether that be, alone, with friends or family, with a therapist, whatever. That's super important. But also then going forward, making sure that you take that time to try not to doubt yourself too much in respect to how you communicate and think clearly, because you can. Everybody can. You just have to work on it, right? Okay, I hope that was clear enough. I feel like I can't quite find the words that I'm looking for, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think that's about it, my Pisces Mercuries. I hope that you connected with this, and I hope that this was helpful for you. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. You can leave a comment or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. Good luck rebuilding. I know you can do it. Things are looking good for you right now. I would say. Certainly not looking bad. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!